Hello and welcome to yet another yapping with me, Fellonius the Wizard. I've been away from a while and suddenly, as I told Cold Fusion Gaming, I need to make my mouth work. Me and Ron also have a series called Yapping and we are trying to get back on that track, but that doesn't work. So I start my yapping again and at least getting my mouth to work. Today I'm going to do a yap about how I do my yappings. Because I feel like this is something that many people can do. You can actually do this yourself. It's like a very short podcast, or as I call them, causeries. They are just some short stuff about some single item, topic, theme, whatever, and you just sit there and you just let your mouth do the talking, so to speak. Now, the thing is, it's not hard. It's not hard at all. Not the way that I do it. Perhaps I'm doing it wrong. I don't know, but that is. First off, you really need a good topic or a good theme or something that you have been going around thinking about. Why do we have that and why do they do like that and so on? You might actually disturb some people with this, but nevertheless, you have your opinions and your opinions are yours and you are allowed to them. You can tell anybody anything as long as they are not suing you for it. Remember that. So let's say in this case I want to do something about a flag post. That is that long tall stuff that is holding up the flag. I'm not going to talk about the flag. I'm going to do the flag post. Okay, why the heck do I want to do that? I don't know, but it's just an example, right? First off, I need to know what do I already know about them. Now, I don't know what you have back in States or in India or in the rest of Europe. I have no idea. But I know for a fact that over here they are at approximately some sort of 5 meters length, height, whatever you call it. They are always white. They are always having the cords on them, always, and they often are some gold-colored knob up in the top. What I think I know about flag posts is that if you have one, you must have a flag. I think that's a law. I'm not totally sure. And if you are having a flag and a flag post, you have to flag on the flag days we have here in Sweden. That is law. But on the other hand, you are not allowed to use the flag post for flags on any other day unless you are having your birthday or some other stuff like a wedding or whatever. Or if you want to, I'm sorry to say, now in these days, you have to bury someone and you have to have it on half post. I'm sorry to say, that is also pretty common. However, this is what I believe. I'm not totally sure. So my next step is, of course, trying to get facts. Facts are the most important thing if you do a yapping about something that is commonly known, commonly all over the place. You have to know what the rules are. You need to know the length, you know, the thickness and how to raise it and all that kind of stuff. In this case, a flag post. So just keep that in mind. So you do all that and you take notes. Now, normally, when I prepare anything, I usually go with my old school teacher way, 70-30. That is, 70% is prepared and 30% is ad-lib improvisation. I love to improvise. So I usually do that also with my yappings. This case I'm actually having 70-30, but there are stuff that I do 30-70, and there's even been 0-100. That is, I'm totally improvising everything and I don't check any facts because there's no facts to check. It's just my opinion. That's it. So you have to be sure that you're doing the right level, but I say 70-30% is a good thing to think if you're going to do something that is common. Then you have to have your studio. When you have collected all the data and all that you need, you have to have your studio. Now, this is not a professional thing. You don't have to do it the way that I've actually done it this time. I put up my big board, these cases that I have, big boxes of board games. That's the word I was looking for. Board games. And I have put these up. I think Ron knows which one I mean, because they were in back at the wall when he was here to visit me. So I put them up, and I used that also when I recorded my radio show that I did, because I had a sound technician, Scoffert, who was very... Well, he wanted to have a good sound. But you don't really need that when you're yapping. Not really. And if there are any outside noises, yeah, let it be it. I mean, I have my washing machine going at the moment. So if you hear that, well, that's it. And then I have my computer's fan going a bit loud sometimes, but mostly when I do Minecraft. I also use Audacity. Free program you can use. It's very simple to use. Or just make sure that you are checking the levels. First of all, check that you have microphone on, because I didn't do that. I'm usually recording everything around it. So if I want to record a game or a game sound or something like that, I usually have it for that. But this case, I needed to have it on microphone. Control sound, yeah, do a check test. I know that I had to sit a certain amount away from the mic. I did just check that. Again, it's not a professional show, but make sure that you do it, and do it every time, because they are going to get used to it, your listeners, I tell you. And then you just record. Usually I try to imagine who is listening, and I know one that might be listening, or perhaps I am actually counting on it. rsmalec is normally always listening, but I also know that there are others, including Jaga's mum and CPM. Well, not CPM anymore, because this is on YouTube. He doesn't do YouTube. Keep an eye on your levels so that you don't do too much red, because that is also something you have to do. If you really want to get rid of all your and other sounds, you can do that if you want to inside Audacity, but that is something really hard. But you can also raise the level so the volume gets higher when it's finished. So there are several effects. I'm not totally sure what it says in English, but effects is what I have here, and you can always make your own voice, make it like bass or something like that. You can do that as well. Good program. And if you get sidetracked, not talking about the flag post in this case, as I'm not doing, if you stutter or if you get interrupted by the phone or anything, just do a restart. Just let it run and then do a restart. I do a 3, 2, 1 and then I start again, because I feel like, okay, that's where I need to do it. I had to do it actually at 3 minutes 14 seconds. So check when it happens and note that, and then restart. It's not that part. That part is easily erased later on. You can delete it how easy as you want to. And then when you are finished recording, listen through it. I know you don't like your voice, but don't fret at it, because it's your voice and this is what people are hearing. This is what you are giving them. And if you're interesting enough, then they will listen through it. I guess that most people won't listen through this one. They're just happy that I'm restarting and looking forward to next Sunday. But just do that. Don't criticize yourself. That is up to the listeners to decide. Perhaps they love it and you are trying to ignore that. That's not good. Most people, like, I don't know, 99% or so, they like it. No worries. And if it's just personal or fun or thoughtful or anything that is remotely interesting, people want this. This is just some thing to take away from the daily problems that we have. And at this time of our life in 2020, we are having problems. I'm glad I'm not an American, I can tell you that. And then I use a Win Movie Maker. I have a front pick. I have a during pick. I have a picture that is just going about. It just says just listen. That means that if Ron, by the way, is wanting to listen to all this, he can do it on his phone. He doesn't have to watch the video. He can just listen to it while he's driving somewhere or doing something like that. It's like a podcast, but shorter. Now, this one is getting long. I see that. Again, remember, you're not a professional. You're not a professional psychologist or psychiatrist or anything professional. You're just a normal person doing a normal yapping, like you're talking to your partner or whatever. It's more like that. So just do it. I know Baker Bell has something she called a coffee chat, and that's just the same. She just sits there and talks. I don't think she's actually having any facts straight or anything, but it's so good to just sit there, and I really relax while she's talking. I'm not really having my brain on, but on the other hand, that's not often happening either way. So what? Yeah. And when you get the hang of it, I can tell you, you can easily record like 4 in a row, just because you can. That is so easy. Right. With a special greeting to Ron, to Baker Bell, to Jay Guzman, Mum, and all the rest of the old gang, I'm saying thank you for listening and bye for this Sunday.